Did you get a penalty? How about you? Did you get off track? Let's discuss this. So yeah, the Grand Prix just finished up. I'm being swamped at work, so I was not able to do the customary prediction videos, but I was able to watch the race. And my usual driver rating video, I decided to do it right now. I usually wait a couple of hours, especially this one, because so many off tracks and so many penalties. Nobody was actually completely sure about the results, if the results were exactly like they crossed the finish line. But I guess it's not worth waiting anymore. I think what I see in front of me are the results. So we get Max, Charles, Sergio, Carlos, and Lando. Alonso just it ended up in P6, a little bit disappointing, but the Astons were not that fast throughout the weekend. Mercedes was also disappointing in for the most part. So most of the grid was disappointing. Many people were underperforming. But let's start with the driver ratings. I will do this. And this video is going to be shorter than the usual because I'm going to do this in clusters because I believe they perform similarly between most of them. So let's start with the race winner, Max. So Max is going to get an 8. An 8. It's not a 10 because to give someone a 10, he had to make some kind of a miracle, and Max just did Max things. So yeah, he did what he had to do. Then we'll get Charles, Sergio, Carlos, and Lando. Let me put Leclerc and Carlos on the same batch, and I'm going to give them. It's kind of a hard score to give because again they did what they had to do, what was expected from them. I'm torn between a 7 and a 6. I don't believe they were a 7. I believe they were a 6. They could do so much better, man. Give those guys a better car. But strategy was fine. Everything was fine. But I believe it was a 6. They started somewhere there. They started second and third. They finished second and fourth. So no big of a miracle there. They just did what they had to do. But I know they can do so much better. Of course, the car will have to help them out a little bit. Then let's go for Checo. He ended up in second, but he had to get some work done. But he's using the best car of the grid. So him finishing in third, is it that something to be noticeable of? I don't think so. So it's between a 7 and a 6. I'm going to put him. Well, it's not fair to put him in a 6 category because he came from behind, so that's worth some merit. So I will give him a 7. Well done, Checo, coming back from behind and recovering from a not so good start because of the you get one track limits. It was kind of ridiculous, if you ask me. So it kind of ruined the race in some aspects. Let me get Lando here because my man Lando, I did a tweet that I put Lando in the podium. He was not far from it. So I think he's finally getting the car is improving to the point where Lando can actually do its thing, and I'm going to give Lando an 8 as I did Max. It's almost a 9. If it was a podium, I will give him for sure a 9, but it's an 8 out of 10, 8.5 out of 10 for, in a way. And he did very well. The upgrades apparently are effective, and he also loves this track. So Lando has done good results on this track previously. So it's an 8.5, not quite a 9, but an 8.5. The rest of the grid. I mean, let me just give me a shout out to my Alonso. I expected more. I don't know if it was the car. I don't know if it for the track limits that made everybody drive more carefully. I don't know, but I expected more from him. He did not end from his car. All of the rest, even the guys who did the points, let me put everybody else that I did not include here. So it was Lewis, George, Racy Gasly, Stroll. Come on, Stroll can do so much better. Alexander Albon, Esteban Ocon. I'm sorry, this is not Ocon, this is Gasly, but Ocon is here. Gasly already here. Logan Sargent, where is he? There you go. Zhou Ganyu, Nick De Vries. Come on, Nick. You can do. Oh man, I don't know what he was thinking throughout the race, but whatever. Bottas, Tsunoda, he was kind of on fire for not for the better reasons. Come on, Kevin, you can do so much better, man. So much better. And Hulkenberg. I mean, all of these guys are on the 5. I mean, I don't know if it's this. I don't know if it's this track. I don't know if it's the if there are other the off tracks. The being afraid of the track limits, being afraid from the penalties. I don't know. They just I don't know what happened there. It was kind of a meh race. I said to my wife, I was watching the race with her. Okay, as soon as Max gets P1, he's just off, and you never see him again. We just managed to see him a little bit more because of the yellow flags and safety cars. He had the luxury to stop for softs and do the fastest lap. So again, Max was just on his own, and that's fine. And all of the rest, I mean, I cannot say it was an interesting race. It was a meh. The sprint race was much better, much more entertaining because of the rain, because of the lack of DRS. Nick De Vries kind of gave us some entertainment. Kudos to the guys who managed the cameras, the director of the TV transmission of the race. He actually focused on the back line of the race on the last places because that was where the fights were. Nicely done there, because in the front it was just for the most part it was just as is. We saw a fight between Sainz and Perez. It was interesting. Sainz was actually acting very very bravely. Not much his style this year, but very enjoyable. It was nice to see Lando keeping up his pace with the big ones. But all the rest is just something on the meh side. So everybody gets a penalty. You get a penalty. You get a penalty. You get an off track. Did you get an off track? Anyways, let me know what you think in the comments below. I really want to hear what you have to say about this. Let me know if you agree to me or not. And I'll see you in the next one. Silverstone, cheers, guys.